His tail is with the fox.
All right, reading page 87. We'll read about Zeke and the flea. Page 87. All right, let's go ahead and read about Zeke and the flea. Okay, Asa, would you start us off?
Ran by Dan. Go on the end. Zeke and the flea. And the grand cat. He named his cat Zeke. He named Zeke a soft bed. Mr. Foxy feeds Zeke milk with his teeth and beef. Zeke eats from Pete's hand.
Okay, good. So we are introduced to the boy in the story. His name is Pete. What kind of pet does he have? A cat. And what is his cat's name? Zeke, right? What does he make for Zeke? Milk, beef, and a bed. He made him a soft bed as well.
That Griffin was not.
And he made him a soft bed as well. Okay, let's look at page 88. All right, Brayley. All right.
Zeke lay in the street and went to sleep.
All right.
Pete came to play. Pete can see a flea on Zeke. Wake up, Zeke. I see a black flea. It will hop on. We need to get the flea.
Okay, so Zeke was laying in the sun and Pete came to play with him. What did Pete see on Zeke?
A flea.
He saw a flea on him, right? And so Pete was like, oh no, we need to get this flea. Okay, 89. Stop. 89. Okay, Elijah.
Zeke sees the flea jump. The flea is still on Zeke. Zeke, the flea. Zigzag. Zigzag. The flea hops and jumps. The flea is still on. The flea is still on tree.
Good. Okay, good. So they're trying to get the flea, but what is the flea doing? Jumping and hopping, so they can't catch it. It's hopping all over Zeke. It's hard to catch it. Okay, 90. All right, Cairo.
Recording stopped.
Click. Zeke split his back and neck. The flea will hop and jump. Click, click, click. Zeke split his legs and feet. The flea will hop and jump.
Okay, so lick, lick, lick. He's trying to lick it off now, right? Is that working? No, the flea is still hopping and jumping all over him. Okay, David, 91. And Michael, you can do 92. Look right here. It's lick.
Lick, lick, lick. Zeke, lick, no. Like,
Lick,
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 lick, lick. Zeke, lick.
Get your vowels.
Zeke, lick. His tail. The flea stops. Zeke bit the flea.
Okay, so he's still trying to lick, lick, lick. The flea stops, and what does he do when the flea stops? He bites it. Okay, Micah, 92. You need to go to the bathroom or something? Go ahead.
Zeke has a wet. Zeke has a wet back. He has a wet neck. He has wet legs and feet, and he has a wet tail. But he got a flea. He said science. He is glad he has a flea.
Are you listening? You don't even have your book. Thank you. Although they were rude and talking while you were reading. No. Okay, so Zeke bites the flea. Does this work? Does it get rid of the flea? Yes, it does. And so now Pete will clean him on the end, and now Zeke will be clean. No more fleas. So that's a good thing. Yeah, no more fleas. All right.
That's it.
Stop listening to him.
That's
All right, so that's it for today, guys. This is our story, Zeke. So this week we'll test on Zeke, the 6 ducks, and ants, what we read on Monday. So we're getting closer to the end of our book. We'll actually probably finish. I may try to finish next week, but we'll see if not the week after. All right, good. You can put your reading away. Let's go over our language nouns. What is a noun? What is a noun? Yes, a noun is the name of a person, place, thing, or idea. Those are the 4 things that a noun is. We covered person and place on Monday. We did thing on yesterday. Today we will talk about ideas. Very easy. Remember, idea is not anything that we can see or we can touch, but we feel the ideas. It's more of like emotions. We feel the emotion. So does anyone remember some examples of ideas that we feel? Asa? Love, sadness, energy, joy, no, not that. Fear, peace, anger. Good. So those are great examples. That's all you, so tomorrow, that part, all you have to do is write ideas. That's it. But the most of the test tomorrow will be on person, places, and things. All you have to do is probably give me like 2 ideas like we did on last week. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and go over your science and social studies, and we'll be, oh, sorry, spelling. Sorry, no, let's go to your spelling. Page 14. Spelling book, page 14. Let's start with our first word. B-E-P,
E,
me,
E, me, M-E,
by,
B-Y,
my,
M-Y,
cry,
cry, C-R-Y,
try,
T-R-Y,
go,
go, G-O,
no,
no, N-O,
no, so,
S-O,
one,
1, O-N-E,
and two.
2, T-W-O,
Good. All right, your Greek word and Latin word. Your Greek word is tele. Tele, and it means far away. Then we have metron. METRON, metron, and it means measure. And then we have verbum. VERBUM, verbum, and it means word. All right, so let's look at our page. You know, usually do our page together. So let's look at number 1. It says match the word with the special sound. So in all of the soccer balls, there's a word. But in the center of the soccer balls, you see there's O like in go, Y like in fly, E like in me. You have to draw a line from the soccer ball to whichever sound it matches. So let's look at the first one, that is go. Which sound is in go? Oh, so go ahead and draw a line from soccer ball go to the special sound O in the middle. Wrong page, not on that page. All right, next soccer ball is cry. Cry, what sound will cry match to, Asa?
My.
Well, cry, which sound in the middle would cry match to? Are you on number 1 on your spelling, the soccer balls? Okay, so cry. Which sound in the middle would cry match to?
Fly.
Y, that says I, good. Next one is my. What sound would my in the match to? Y, okay? So go ahead and do the rest of them, guys. Be, he, so, me, and try and know. Match all of them to their sound. I don't even know why. All right, do we have that? So let's look at B. What sound? You can just tell me what sound would B match to? E. What about he? E. So. O. What about me?
E.
Try.
Fly.
Y and no.
O.
All right, good. All right, let's look at number 2 on the other side. So we are going to add a letter to make a spelling word. Yep, so you'll use your list to help you figure out the rest. All right, so we have CR. What letter would go at the end to make a spelling word? Y. What word does it make? Cry. I don't know. Next, we have O and then a blank and then E. Which letter would go in between the two?
N.
And what word does it make?
One.
1. You can just tell me, guys, so we can just get through it quickly. Next, we have B. What letter would go at the end to make a spelling word? It could have been ERY because they could have made by or B. So either one is fine. Could put E for B or Y for by. All right, next one we have an S. What letter would go at the end to make a word? O. And what word does it make?
So.
So. Good. Next we have G. What letter could we put at the end?
O.
O, and what word does it make?
Go.
Go. And our last one, TR. Yes, you do. TR, what letter goes at the end? Y. And what word does it make?
Try.
Try. All right, good. All right, number 3. You will circle the correct word for each sentence. So you read them and you try it, and then let's discuss it. So read them, try both words out, and circle which one would make more sense in the sentence. All right, let's review it. So, first one, we must trust our mind to do our best. I'm sorry, we must try our mind to do our best. Which one would go here? Tell me. Tell me. Try. We must try to do our best. Next one, God made you and so are me. Me. God made you and me. Next one, Mom fried 2 or buy eggs. 2 eggs. And last one, I ate, cry, or one of the cupcakes. One of the cupcakes. Awesome. Good job. All right, so that's it. Oh, no, not in for spelling. Could you go to page 63? Page 63.
Miss Fugins,
Uh-huh.
in what book?
We're still in spelling, page 63. Page 63.
This is a wonderful world God made.
Yep, so we'll do a little bit of poetry. No, I'm not. And this is why I'm not. Page 63 in spelling. All right, so we will kind of do some poems. It won't be every day we'll do it, but every so often we'll cover the poems in the back of our book. Okay, so this first poem here is called The Elephant. So it goes, the elephant walks like this and like that. He's very tall and he's very fat. He has no fingers, but he does have toes. And goodness gracious, what a nose. Okay, so so repeat after me. The elephant walks like this and like that.
Elephant walks like this and that.
He's very tall.
He's very tall.
And he's very fat.
Very fat.
He has no fingers.
He has no
But he
fingers,
does have toes.
but he does have toes.
And goodness gracious,
Goodness gracious,
what a nose.
one nose.
Awesome. So next week we'll do it again and we'll add moves to it to kind of help us remember it. Okay, so this is our poem, The Elephant. It's just something extra. It's nothing like we're testing on. It's something extra that we're covering. All right. Okay, good job. Let's go ahead and go over our science and social studies now. Let's go to page 20 in your science book. Page 20 in your science book. All right, so this week in science, we are covering our third sense. So we already covered the sense of sight, which our eyes give us. We covered the sense of hearing, which we get from our ears. And now we are talking about the sense of smell, which comes from our nose. You see what I'm saying? 20. You see how when we're talking, we don't hear important things like what page we're on? All right, so my nose. So remember, we talked about our nose. Our nose gives us a sense of smell. We are able to smell things like if your mom is baking cookies or a cake, you are able to smell all of these things, whether it's someone peeling an orange or anything. We're able to smell because of our nose. We have two holes on our nose, and those two holes are called our nostrils. Our nostrils not only help us to smell, but we can also breathe through our nostrils. If we take a deep breath in, air just went inside of our nostrils. So our nose helps us to do two things. It helps us to both smell and it helps us to breathe. Sometimes we could get a cold and our nose maybe stopped up a little bit and it'll be hard to breathe through our nose. But our mouth is also another way to breathe as well. So yes, our nose is a way to help us breathe, but it's not the only way. Our mouth helps us to breathe as well. Okay, our mouth helps us to breathe as well. Okay, so we are able to smell everything because of our nose, and we can also breathe because our nose helps us to breathe. Okay, let's look at 21. So all of us have hairs inside of our nose. They're tiny little hairs. Now, those hairs they are important. Those hairs will help to catch dust. It will help to stop dust from getting inside of our nose. Just like when we talked about our eyelids, how they might sometimes capture dust to stop dust from getting in our eyes. Well, our nose in our hairs, no, I'm sorry, the hairs in our nose helps to stop dust from getting in our nose. But sometimes dust may get past the hairs, and guess what we'll do? We sneeze, and when we sneeze, we're getting all of that stuff out. That's why when you sneeze, it's important to sneeze in your sleeve and not sneeze all out in the open. Plus, you're spreading germs, and you don't want to do that. So you want to make sure that when you sneeze, you feel it coming, you sneeze in your sleeve so that you're not sneezing on others. Okay, so that's all we did in science this week. We should have probably did taste, but we'll do taste next week. But yes, so our nose gives us a sense of smell. We can also breathe through our nose. We have tiny hairs inside of our nose which captures dust to stop dust from getting in our nose. If dust does get in our nose, we will sneeze it on out. That's why we sneeze sometimes, to get all of that stuff that's in there out. Sometimes if you have a stuffy nose, you'll sneeze and snot will come out sometime. That's because it's trying to get it all out of there. So you see, God made our body to work perfectly, just the way that it is. Carson, can you unplug that heater? Okay. All right, good. Let's go ahead and move on to your social studies. We talked about the Pilgrims this week. Thank you. Our social studies. We're on page 20, social studies, page 20. Okay, so America, we know America as our country that we live in today with millions, even billions of people that live in it. But America did not always start that way. There was a small group of people that came here first, which were the Native Americans. They were actually here first in America, and next year in second grade, you'll learn about the Native Americans. After the Native Americans, there was a group of people from England who decided to come to America. Those people were called the Pilgrims. Remember, a pilgrim is a person that travels from place to place. A pilgrim is a person that travels from place to place. So you may say, why did the Pilgrims leave England? Well, the King of England decided to tell everyone that they had to worship God his way and go to his church. There was a group of people who did not agree with this. They did not want to worship at the king's church, and they did not want to worship the way the king told them to. these people decided to separate themselves from the Church of England, and they were like, we need to find us a new place where we can freely worship God. So they decided, they originally decided to go to Holland, which is another country, but that didn't work out. So they decided to come to America. So they packed up everything they had. They got on a ship. They named the ship the Mayflower. They traveled on this Mayflower for a few months. They traveled across the Pacific Ocean and came to America. They didn't know anything about America, but they decided that they were going to be brave and cross over and come to America. Now, when they got here, unfortunately, it was during the winter time, and we know that during the winter time, nothing grows. So when they got here, there was no food. Many of them were sick, and a lot of them unfortunately died because they starved, and the sicknesses that they had, they died because of those sicknesses. So they ended up meeting some Native Americans, and these Native Americans decided to help them out a little bit. There was one Native American named Squanto. Squanto showed them how to plant corn, not only corn, but squash and pumpkin, things that they could get food from. He also taught them how to catch fish and also how to fertilize the ground so that they could plant more things. Okay, that's not nothing you're testing on. I'm just telling you that. But yes, he taught them how to do all of these things so that the next winter, when the winter came, guess what they had? Food this time, right? They didn't starve this time and they didn't get sick this time. They were more prepared this second time. So when winter came again, they were prepared. They had food stored up. They had food ready. They decided to give thanks to God. So they said, we'll set a day aside, 3-day feast we'll celebrate, and we'll just give thanks to God. So they celebrated for 3 days on page 22. They called it a Thanksgiving Day, because that was the day they decided to give thanks to God. So they celebrated this Thanksgiving, and they celebrated for 3 days initially. I did tell you yesterday that that is still a holiday that is celebrated today as well. Usually the 4th November, the 4th Thursday every November is Thanksgiving, which that will be next month, November. We're in October. November is next month. So we'll have Thanksgiving again next month. And so this is something that is still celebrated today, but this is where it started with the with the Pilgrims setting aside a day where they would give thanks to God, where they would worship God for 3 days. They celebrate. Now, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving for 3 days, right? It's usually just the one day, but they celebrated for 3 days giving thanks to God, and because he had kept them safe this time, right? Not that he didn't keep them safe the first time, but they were happy that things got better, because when they had first arrived, many got sick and many died. This time it was a lot better. Okay, so that's the story of the Pilgrims, where they came from, why they left England, how was it when they got to America, and the holiday they celebrated, which was Thanksgiving. Okay, so that's your social studies lesson on today. So I think we covered everything. Let me see. it for us. Yeah, we did everything we needed to. We're finished. But if your mom is ready, I can talk with your mom, okay?